After the dramas of the Spanish Grand Prix, where Alex Marquez claimed his first ever Grand Prix victory, MotoGP moves over to the Le Mans circuit in France. Welcome to round 6 of the 2025 MotoGP World Championship, and it's time for qualifying to decide the grid for the Tissot Sprint and the French Grand Prix. Hello everybody and welcome to qualifying for the French Grand Prix here at Le Mans on the Bugatti circuit. We're all set for what's going to be a very interesting session, 15 minutes ahead of us as well. And in that previous session, Fabio Quartararo topped the timesheets by 66 thousandths of a second to Marc Marquez. I'm Joshua Birch, alongside me in the commentary box is Megan Birch. Megan, who's your hot for qualifying? Who do you think is looking good coming in?
I think Quartararo is, to be honest. I think he's been doing quite well all throughout the weekend so far. Also, I think it'll be nice for him to get a really good qualifying in today.
Let's get on to Rachel then at TNT Sports.
Well, we just had our final free practice session, and Sylvain, it's just really funny how quickly things change in MotoGP. I mean, just a few rounds ago, you'd have gone Fabio Quartararo topping each session pretty much. I mean, Qatar, obviously, he found himself on that front row. Last time out, pole position, but it just seems not a norm for the Frenchman now, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's found his magic again. They made it work for him. He's found his feeling again with the front end of the bike, and yeah, the performances are coming. So finally for Yamaha, the concession work, everything is paying off. They put it all together. Fabio's decided actually a few rounds ago to concentrate on his base bike and just to get the flow and get used to it and get familiar with it. Stop changing the bike so much, and it's working really, really quick this weekend again.
Yeah, and he said he has ambitions for maybe top 4 or 5 in qualifying. I think he'll expect some more. He's downplaying his chances. Let's talk about qualifying then. Q1 comes your way next. Someone who will be going in that session is Johan Zarco, another Frenchman who hoped for maybe something a little bit more. He crashed and made up 12th, didn't he? Just missing out on Q2. What have you made of his overall performance this weekend?
Well, this weekend he's been, let's say, a little bit like
unlucky?
Yeah, a little bit unlucky with the crash because he was in his best lap, in his time attack, and he had to go. There was Di Gianantonio on the right side of the track. He had to go a bit in the inside, and yeah, basically that just closed a bit the angle of entry for Chemin Aubert for that first left. We know it's a delicate corner, very easy to lose the front there. We've seen many crashes, and yeah, he just overdone it. But that was because he had to be sort of like 1.5 meters away from the perfect racing line. So definitely Johan Zarco's got it, to get into Q2.
Yeah, one of the top riders to look out for, who will hope to progress, and especially in front of his home fans as well. Well, talking of Johan Zarco then, let's go over to his team boss from LCR Honda, Lucio Ceccanelli.
Well, Lucio, I think it's clear who everyone will want to see get through in this session from this crowd. And Johan only missed out on an automatic spot after a crash in that timed practice. What did you make of that session for him? Are you confident he can get through to Q2?
Well, we worked on the engine brake strategy. We worked with a different suspension setup, and he tested the 2 bikes, and then finally chose the one with both modification. We we did a little step forward, but still there is a quite big gap with Marc Marquez.
I mean, it's always difficult to get through to the next session, isn't it? But he's got that extra motivation with the home crowd behind him, hasn't he?
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it's always special for a rider to race in his home Grand Prix, and there is always, I don't know, some magic power that come from the people around you that give you maybe 1 or 2 tenths. Let's keep the finger crossed for the qualifying.
He's regularly the top performer for Honda, and you mentioned the things he was testing there. How productive was the test at Jerez for you and for all of Honda?
The testing at Jerez was definitely good for us. We could improve our lap time pace, compare Sunday race, compare the qualifying. We didn't test the big things, but all small things all together make, let's say, the feeling with the bike was definitely improved.
Sadly, we don't have Somkiat here after arm pump surgery. Can we expect to see him at the next round at Silverstone?
Yes, this is absolutely the goal. It was very, very close to come here, but unfortunately got some, let's say, complications, some extra swallow, and then the Dr. Mir and the Dr. Charte, they prefer to let him home and then try to rest and recover.
We hope to see him next round then. Thank you, Lucio.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, wishing Somkiat Chantra a speedy recovery. We hope to see him at Silverstone. He was saying there, Lucio, that he just needs 1 or 2 tenths, and the home crowd can give Johan that. You know, is that possible? How much do they add? Can they add?
He does do that. It's such a strange feeling. You come to your home round and you just feel that support. You just feel a little bit lighter. Everything feels a little bit better. It's extra motivation, but it's very hard to describe, you know. And you feel like you ride more with your heart. You just give it all at every single corner, every single lap. So yeah, Johan Zarco will feel that effect, as well as Fabio Quartararo. And Johan Zarco, because of the crash that happened yesterday and that new setup that Lucio was talking about, engine brake and suspension, I think for me definitely one of the favourites to go through.
So your money is on him to go through?
Yeah.
Okay, well you heard it from Sylvain here. Let's see what Gav then and Neil think as we head to Q1.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Here we go then. Green light and qualifying is underway here for the French Grand Prix. Typical that as soon as that happens, now we get the correct screen for qualifying from Lewis Duncan. There we go. So, here we go then. Q1's underway. And here's our special screen. This is our timing monitor, if you're new to us here, which basically has everything. That's everything you need. We can't show it in all the sessions because obviously it's too big. But in qualifying, it's 12 and 12, so it's easier.
See.
I like our qualifying screen. It works. It looks cool. And the hashtag of JBMotorsports as well as our logo looks quite fun as well. So, Sean says, our picks to get into Q2. He's saying Zarco and Di Giannantonio. Reminder who's in this session. Zarco, Marini, Bastianini, Ralph Fernandez, Nakagami, Salvadori, Binder, Mia, Rins, Di Giannantonio, Aguirre and Oliveira. Megan, who's your 2 to go through to Q2?
My 2 are... Hold on. Di Giannantonio,
Yeah.
Zarco.
That is the same as what Sean's picked.
Oh!
Yeah. So you've picked the same.
Confidence.
I will go for Brad Binder. And Johan Zarco.
Either way, everyone has confidence in Zarco.
Yeah. Here's Alex Rins on the Yamaha. Then again, Yamaha have bought the new engines here. Both the Prima Pramax and the factory Yamahas have the new upgraded engines they're testing at Jerez. As he comes down into La Chapelle, went a bit wide there. Had to pick it up mid-corner as well.
Yeah, you can see him going so far off the racing line, but he keeps... No, I just having to constantly check my messages because it's it's assessment season and people are asking for references.
Zarco's rear twitch coming into the Dunlop chicane as well. The rear just stepping on him.
Yeah, Rins over the past couple of weekends has not had the greatest look, and it seems to be continuing into this.
Yeah. Zarco then down in towards Museum. Just hugs that inside line. Everyone at the moment. Marini and Zarco on the soft front, soft rear. In fact, there's only a couple out there on hard front tyres. Everyone's on a rear tyre, which is soft. In terms of the fronts, that is going to be Bastianini, hard front, Salvadori, Binder, and Ayagura all hard fronts as well.
And Marini coming into the third sector time. And yellow flag, sectors 3 and 4.
Agura!
Just as Rins sets the fastest lap.
Now, depending on where he's gone down, he might be able to get back to the pit and then get to the second bike. It shouldn't take that long with the escape roads we've got around here. But that's going to spoil everybody else's best lap times that they just started doing. Yeah, there we go, look.
49. I just thought, would that risk Rins' lap time?
Yeah, I think all the lap times, because look, where's that yellow flag out? Just at the
Sectors
cusp.
3 and 4.
Yeah, so that's down at the S Blues. So, yeah, and yellow flag's out again in sectors 3 and 4 now.
What have they done now?
Well, if the bikes hit the air fence, we might need a red flag to fix it. Lap time cancelled for Mia.
I think it has hit the air fence.
Yeah, look, it's down at the S Blues at 9 and 10. Let's take a look at
10
it.
and 30.
So, eyes mid-corner, front's tipped in, and, well, the bike's actually gone down the escape road at turn 9, so we're okay there, but why there's a secondary yellow in that sector, I'm not entirely sure, unless they're trying to recover the bike as well.
Do you know what I love? How...
That's his second crash of the weekend, Friday, isn't it?
It is. He
Same
crashed
place.
yesterday as
Same
well.
place.
I'm telling you, every single session we have a track house crashing.
Yeah.
Though, I love how Igor was forced to watch
Red
as
flag,
his bike
red flag's out.
went away from him.
Red flag is out, so the session is suspended with 10:18 remaining on the clock. Now, why?
What did this do?
Why? Yeah.
He went down an escape road. Surely it's not that bad.
And Zarko's furious because he was 0.3 of a second up. Are they struggling to get the bike up?
That is why we have a red flag.
Third qualifying in a row where they've red flagged the session. I mean, it's very unusual to see red flags in MotoGP. 3 qualies in a row now.
Yeah, especially since last time I think there was a qualifying, or at least a race.
They can't pick it up because the bike clutch is
it's
stuck
still
in
on.
and the throttle's stuck.
Oh, now it's off.
Yeah, so they couldn't. So the throttle got stuck on and the clutch was left in. So the rear tyre was going.
I've seen riders fall
Yeah.
on the track and it's still not red flag, but that gets a red.
Yeah, it's a bit daft, that, isn't it?
Which one is Alonso in?
Moto 2.
Moto 2. In Moto 2, we literally had Alonso's visor be ripped off by a bike.
And he ragdolled into the. Yeah.
Yeah, and ragdoll, and he is still race as normal, smoking.
Yeah.
That is smoking. Why is it smoking? Why is it smoking from the bit where it doesn't
Oh,
need to
it's
smoke
still
well?
on. Oh, and there goes the fire extinguisher, Megan. You're right. Well, if that engine's still on and the engine's revving, they've got to shut it off before it overheats and does catch fire.
It's the bike version of Herbie.
Yeah.
I want to be free!
Ayagura's already back in, watching his bike, closing his eyes and thinking, oh dear.
People are going to hate me for this. Zarko especially.
That's his second crash of the weekend on his first bike.
Qualifying one where we start at 2 minutes to 11.
So that's in
2 minutes. Obviously, it's their time.
Weird that we're going to get another red flag as well. Oh, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose.
I should read a bit of Shakespeare. Do you know
Shakespeare in
this,
the park?
Yes. Do you know this title used to be Sir
Does
Falstaff?
your mother know that she does wear her drapes?
This title has changed since it was originally published.
The
It
Merry
used to-
Wives of Windsor.
yeah, it was originally Sir Falstaff and the Merry Wives of Windsor.
Oh.
But now it's just Merry Wives of Windsor.
I hate this.
From page 57 is where it begins. It's weird. In Shakespeare books, half a book is just basically explaining the book. And then you get the actual book.
Oh, forgot, I'm not doing that. Taking a look at Igor's accident. It's the same as what he had yesterday. It's identical. The front tip's mid-corner.
Only this time he was forced to watch as the bike went away from him.
Let's have a look. Oh, thank you, Ken, for subscribing from the Philippines. I hope you have a wonderful day, my friend. Go Fabio Cordovara in your hometown. And keep it up. Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. Thank you, Kent. And Will, thank you very much as well for the bit of promotion that we're doing there as well. Ahmed is watching from Indonesia, one of our biggest viewing spots across both JBMotorsports 1 and 2.
I think Falstaff was moulded on Henry VIII.
Probably was. Green light, we're underway again for qualifying. Sean says, possibly this is the difference of stewarding between Freddie Spencer and Simon Crafar. Well, don't forget, Simon Crafar's not the race director. He's the steward. So he decides the penalties. Hang on a minute. It's Ian something or other.
Before anyone asks, am I being forced to read Shakespeare? No, I don't need to read it for any educational purpose. I just love Shakespeare.
11:20 to 11:35 will now be Q2. Just letting you know. Mike Webb is the race director and chairman of the event management committee here. And Graham Webber is the director for Moto 2, Moto 3 and Moto E. So Mike Webb has the main priority class, MotoGP, and Graham Webber has Moto 2, Moto 3 and Moto E. It's quite remarkable how much more prepared to red flag races seem to be this week. I am not. Simon has just tweeted something here.
Well, that's where they are.
Flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I came in with them this morning. Look at MotoGP now. Rider safety is on another level. Aguirre's bike was still on the side and running, and they immediately red flagged it. Nice update as well. It's quite remarkable how much more prepared to red flag races they seem to be this weekend. We had a lot of red flags actually this weekend.
They like the push of the red flag, then.
Mike Webb, I think, has got a talking to from the riders after a couple of incidents, a couple of races ago. Basically, just red flag it. I'd be weird to see Nakagami in HRC colours, yeah. Of course, well, Takiki Nakagami was still part of the LCR squad. So he's still with Honda. It's just now he's moved up to the test rider, so he's gone up.
There's the second bike of Igor.
Yeah, last 5 minutes.
Yeah, especially a Trackhouse.
MotoGP, and also NASCAR, of course, Trackhouse. Trackhouse is primarily a NASCAR team that has come over to MotoGP and done rather well, I want to say. And they're loving it. The Americans do love it here.
It's a good team.
Oh! Oliveira with a massive wiggle on the bike coming into turn 1. That setup is all wrong. He's on this old soft front tyre with a brand new rear soft, and he has lost a lot of time in that first corner. It was wobbling around like crazy.
Yeah, it looked like looked like he was imitating a snake.
Is there a snake charmer in the house? He's lost 3/10 last time alone, so yeah, down through La Chapelle. He's not done the best situations there, unfortunately.
Well, currently, none of us are winning.
No, Rins and Bastianini 1-2. But that red flag did cost them at the wrong time.
It would have been that.
Information from race control. The reason for the red flag was Igor's instant, but also because there was marshals in a dangerous firing line.
Fine.
Considering they know that riders don't respect the yellow flags in motorcycle racing.
How can they? They slow down, they fall. Yellow flag. What are we meant to do with that information? Slow down?
Yes.
We'll be the yellow flag in a minute.
Yellow flags in motorcycle racing is the equivalent of blue flags in Formula 1.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to them.
Slow down. There's problems on the track. We don't care.
I'm glad that they're a bit more deliberate in putting out the red flags. I think that's what's needed.
Red flags are the only things that stop them.
Yeah. It's quick enough. Again, Igor, that first corner. What is going on with that?
Oliveira.
Yeah. Well, he's back, of course, this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah. Speaking of Igor.
He's down in over the line, yeah. What is going on for Miguel Oliveira on the Prima Pramac Yamaha?
He must have discovered his year of silvering, and his bike is imitating a snake. It's a basilisk.
Just sliding around like crazy. Oh yeah, just to let you know, they've teased the Chamber of Secrets and Hogwarts Legacy a couple of times. Just a couple. And I've tried looking for it. You can't find the bathroom.
Well, I might have a chance at it. Go on to Zare. He's an heir of Slytherin.
Yeah, that's who's telling us about it.
Well, apparently my character's barely mates with Gorn.
You'll be very surprised to know, by the way, that I have gone down the dark arts route so I can get the curses.
Good. You're falling to the dark side.
No, I just want to kill trolls as easier because it's annoying me like crazy.
Vada Kedavra.
Don't learn that until level 28 and level 22.
Damn it, I must get to level 28. But I must get all of my work done.
Yes. Right, here comes the timings.
You won't see me for the rest of the weekend.
5 minutes to go. And now we get our first proper times of the session over the line. Ayagura is up into 5th position. D'Antonio's down by a 10th at the moment, but red sector times coming from Raul Fernandez, of all people, on the other track house. 20.8 first sector, 20.7 second sector. Rins has just done a 20.772 first sector. Digi, fastest of all in the 3rd sector. Bastianini in the 2nd sector. Time starting to come up now as we get pushing onto the session. But Bastianini, the only one on a hard front tyre. Track temperature 21 degrees Celsius, air temperature 18 Celsius.
I see Ralph's remembered the fact that he was fast last year.
Yeah, it's taken him a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's a bike off to the circuit there at the side before Recruitment.
Probably Tigers.
Well, I keep asking MotoGP with their little help format they've done. I keep saying to them, A, let us replay sessions. B, give us a rider tracker like it was Superbikes. Nope, nope, you just have timing screen.
Timing screen is all you need.
1 minute 30.584. So Raul Fernandez goes to the top with Fabio Di Giannantonio in 2nd position as things stand. And Aya Bastianini's down by 10.5. Zarco is up by nearly 0.3 of a second. Over the line comes an Aya Bastianini. And it's 2nd fastest. 1 minute 30.822. Now, Binder also looking strong. Zarco 2. It's not over yet. Here comes Zarco over the line. Fastest. 1 minute 30.399. Rins has gone 2nd. 1:30.455. That Yamaha engine is slightly better.
Which one did you choose again?
Well, I chose Zarco and...
Oh!
who else did I choose? No, Ralph Fernandez, wasn't it?
I thought you... Yeah, I think it was.
Sean, who did I say again? I can't remember. Ralph Fernandez, 0.3 at the moment, the difference. Digi, 2.5 of a second down.
They're on this laps.
Yeah. Cool laps, basically, before they go in for another run.
Marini, however, is on his fast lap and is just on 8th.
They do have the option to come in, change bikes and go out again on new set of tyres, but it looks like they're all going to do some build-ups and cool laps. We might have a crescendo rather than a whimper here.
If you did choose Ralph, then you're about to be in the...
Oh, I chose Zarco and Binder.
Binder. Where's Binder?
7th. Thank you, Sean.
At least he got Zarco.
I'll try and catch up with the chats shortly, as well as that's popping off.
Do you know, that food I had last night
Lap time cancel for Nakagami for track limits.
was really, really delicious. It was a really great sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
Yeah. Chicken, mushrooms with garlic, onion and paprika.
I had fish and chips as well. Mia is improving, says Sean. He does.
Tomatoes, dried tomato sourdough bread.
I had breakfast during Doctor Who. Right, here comes Mia.
I had coffee.
Mia is sliding around like crazy for Mia. Into Rakudamar. Over the line. Mia's 4th fastest and doesn't improve. Best time, but it's 80 thousandths of a second. The top, just look at the times. Zarco, 32 thousandths to Raul. 24 thousandths to Rins. And to Mia. Hang on, have they done... No, they have not done the same lap time. They're just the same distance away. And 26. The top 5 are separated by little over 1/10 of a second.
Oh my goodness.
The top 5 are separated by 0.106 of a second.
That's rare.
That is absolutely insane. Yamaha are improving here. So many are.
Over there you can see the little skid marks from when...
Times. Bastianini also looking strong.
30 cancelled lap time.
Times they be improving. Here comes Aya Bastianini over the line now. Stays in... No! Binder goes 3rd. He just misses out. He goes inside 10 thousandths of Raul Fernandez.
You almost had it.
Almost is not good enough in this game at the moment, is it? But wow. It's certainly improving at the moment. Rins is 4th. Checkered flag is out now. And lap times cancelled for riders taking shortcuts to get back to the pit lane. Zarco's entered the pits. He thinks he's safe enough. But The gaps are absolutely insane. The gap between first and sixth is 0.106 of a second. That is insanely close. Zarco, 32 thousandths to Rao, 42 to Binder, 56 to Rins, 80 to Mia, a 10th to Marini. That is the closest qualifying one I can remember seeing in a while, and it's still over. Over the line comes Luca Marini to take the checkered flags. He goes 6th fastest. Dijantonio's down on time. Ayagua might only go 9th. Nakagami starts at the back. So well done to Miguel Oliveira. Out-qualifying 3 other riders on his return to MotoGP. Digi's not improving. We're watching Ayagua now coming through the S-Blues section.
Crash.
He's got through that part. 7/10 down on an old front soft tyre. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. And lap time cancel for Bastianini.
Do you see what Ayagua did?
Yeah.
Wheelie on a curb. No wonder he crashes.
So it's Zarco and Raul Fernandez going through.
Well, at least we got Zarco right, all of us.
Ayagua does go 9th, so that just puts down Miguel Oliveira.
Oh, Oliveira.
Not a bad time, that really, was it?
No.
It was a good session, an interesting session.
It was.
A close session, I'd say.
Certainly an interesting one from looking at how Oliveira's bike is doing.
Yeah, that especially, actually, yeah. Well, the French fans cheer, because through Zohan Zarco.
Oh.
Even though some of them are more Colorado fans, of course, the world champion.
Yeah.
So advancing to Q2, Johan Zarco and Raul Fernandez. 13th on the grid will be Brad Binder. 14th, Alex Rins. 15th, Juan Mir. 16th, Luca Marini. 17th, Fabio Di Giannantonio. 18th, Nea Bastianini. 19th, Ayagua. 20th, Miguel Oliveira. 21st, Lorenzo Savadori. And Takiki Nakagami is 22nd.
I think Raul's just happy to be here again.
Good session, though, wasn't it?
It was.
Do we reckon that we're going to see something better in qualifying coming up?
I hope so. I hope Zarco shows that he can also do this as well as Cotteraro does. I always said Zarco does this as well as Zarco can.
I hope TNT aren't going to an ad break here, because they're keeping it long here. I know Rachel's hosting, but don't go to an ad break, because then I've got to film.
Do not go to ad break!
Did they do that in Spain?
I think.
What?
No, they didn't.
That's me. No, let's get on to Rachel now.
Hallelujah.
And he does, but a frustrating session nonetheless, as Michael Laverty joins us on screen for the first time this morning. Michael, I'll go to you first. It's always disappointing for the riders and fans when pretty much the session gets cut down from 15 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, obviously the red flag incident for Ayagua pretty much ruined Ai's session, could have ruined Zarco's. He was on a lap. Obviously the red flag came out at the wrong time, but the right man delivered it and got through to Q2 in front of the home fans. So Zarco got the lap in on the last exit, but it is heartbreak for the likes of Brad Binder when you miss out by 100th of a second. The margins this weekend are oh so close, but there had to be someone disappointed today, and it is Brad Binder and the Honda riders, Mira and Marini, not far away there.
And Alex Rins as well on the Yamaha, just missing out. All the riders in the top 6 were separated by just, I think, a 10th of a second in the end. So it was as close as you like there. But for the likes of, Alex and Brad, who now don't have a session, what do they do?
Well, it's going to be tough for them, especially with the starting position. We know he in the first lap, in that first sort of like first turn and that first chicane, you lose a lot of time once you're like third, fourth row. So yeah, difficult qualifying for them. But like Michael said, he was so tight, really, really tight. And I think that second one is all going to be about who's going to risk the hard front. They can gain an advantage with the hard front, with the braking stability, but the temperature would just on the limit to be using it, as we've seen with Ayagua crashing out.
Yeah, we saw his bike actually come back through. What did you think of that? Did it look kind of usable for later on in the day?
Well, they're gonna redo that. The one thing I picked up there though is the Aprilia seems that normally there's an automatic cutout when the bike falls off. and is on its side, needs that by rule it needs to be turned off automatically. And the Aprilia seems like they always stay on, so hopefully for them they don't have engine damage, because it looks like the bike was on and it was smoking at the end. That's never good for an engine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Aprilia of Ayagura, he doesn't make it through, but actually one Yamaha is on the factory side of things, one Yamaha isn't. So Nat is down with Mayo Marigali to talk all things Yamaha.
Well, Mayo, those early signs are there that Fabio could be on for another good weekend. But even talking to him yesterday, he said, I'm targeting that front row, I've got a good feeling. It must give you so much encouragement and pleasing to hear that from Fabio.
Yeah, yesterday, when he finished the both sessions, he was quite satisfied how the bike was behaving. For sure, also being here in his own circuit with all these people pushing him, he can find something else. But overall, both rider comments are quite positive. Also, Jack listening his comments. So for sure, we are maintaining the trend that we started a few races ago, and for us is very important.
Yeah, it's a shame Alex didn't get through to that next session there. But like you say, Fabio was saying that new engine spec, there's a little bit of something there. What do you see in the data, and what are all the other riders saying?
Same comment. The engine has just a bit more power without any negative points. They can feel that actually from the corner, the bike is pushing a bit more. The same feeling we had in Jerez, but also the same things we saw on the dyno. So we were quite confident that this specification could work, and I hope sooner or later something else will arrive.
Another good result for Fabio here this weekend. Well, we know what that means to the crowd, but is that further confirmation, like you say, that you're going in the right direction?
Yeah, but already at the beginning of the season, we thought that it was really matter to be able to put everything together, because sometimes we miss something. But now, okay, we reach at least a good base. And the bike is not keep changing, and the base of the bikes from 3 races ago is always the same. They are just fine-tuning, and this for sure also put the rider in a situation where he can get the confidence with the bike, and this is much more important than maybe keep moving and working on the setups.
Great to talk to you, Maya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the confidence is definitely there, and the expectations are growing with every single session for the factory Yamaha team. Mayo then saying, obviously, they've got this new engine, and obviously it's creating a bit more power. Will we be able to see that engine in its full glory this weekend on the stop-start circuit, kind of like the Le Mans is, Michael?
Yeah, it seemed to be working quite good for the riders. They're really happy. Mechanically, it gives them a little bit of initial traction, a bit of punch off the turn. It gives them good top end, better than the previous version. All 4 riders liking it. And all round, when you give a bike more horsepower, it can sometimes create a lot of issues, but so far so good with Yamaha. Everyone's happy. It's took a good step, and Fabio leading the way in free practice shows that they're on the upward trend. And as Sylvain just said off air, they don't want to touch the bike anymore. Fabio loves it whenever he's not reinventing it throughout the sessions. He just focuses on doing his best, getting the maximum out of the package, and they're finding that sweet spot right now.
Yeah, obviously Alex struggling maybe just to gel with it as much as the likes of Fabio and maybe Jack as well, who's been going well so far this weekend.
Yeah, for the other riders, I'd say it's been more up and down since the start of season. You know, they found pace, and then they struggle, and then they come back a bit. I mean, Jack started really, really well, and Alex had some good moments as well. Oliveira, unfortunately, has had that injury, and for Fabio, it didn't start really well as well. So it's funny how, again, you come back with motorbike racing where they decided to go for a completely different strategy. Instead of changing the setup all the time of the bike and sort of like making radical changes with geometry, they just give him his base bike, let him get on with it, let him get the feel for it, and it's Fabio now making the difference because he's building that confidence with the Yamaha. So it's nice to see that side, the sort of like old-fashioned type of motorbike riding allowing him to get that pace.
That's a team having the belief in the rider and his ability, right, and just letting him grow as the season does, not getting too worried by just throwing the the kitchen sink at him. Let's talk a little bit about Raul Fernandez then. Only the second time he's got through to Q2. Trackhouse, as we know, obviously having a bit of a tough session out there with Ayagura having a crash. But on the other side, Raul doing okay this morning.
Yeah, there's no doubt Raul Fernandez has got the speed, he's got the ability, he's lacked the consistency to deliver at all the different venues we go around this World Championship circuit, but he's slowly finding his feet with the 25 model has changed things. He looked better at times last year on the old bike. We hear the riders comment it's a little bit nervous, a bit twitchy, unsettled in the braking zones, but around here this weekend they've found something. I think Ayagura should have been stronger. Without the crash, he would have been maybe the favourite from the Trackhouse team to go through, but it is Raul Fernandez today who did deliver. Gets a crack at it now to be on the first 4 rows of the grid.
Yeah, do you see him working his way up from that 4th row, or is that kind of his level at the moment?
That's a tough one. That's a difficult one. It's been up and down, so we don't really know. We know that when everything clicks, it can make it happen. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see some progress as well in the race.
Oh, Frankie Morbidelli obviously had a couple of crashes, didn't he, in Jerez? Crashed here. Well, it wasn't really a crash. It was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? He kind of rolled through the gravel and then tipped off in the end. That won't have dented his confidence too much, will it?
No, but he does look a little out of sorts this weekend. Had a big crash in Jerez, missed the test. The little tip-off at the end of practice, as you mentioned, went through the gravel, was too eager to touch the throttle just as he went onto the looser gravel, let's say on the outside on the little escape road, and he did spin out. So not a crash that will hurt him, just bruised his ego ever so slightly, and he'll bounce back here and have another go at it in this session.
Well, let's quickly have a prediction then. Obviously, Fabio Quartararo put an end to Marc Marquez's perfect pole positions last time out in Jerez. Can he do the same thing here on home soil?
I think he could do it. If I'm perfectly honest, I think Marc is definitely the favourite, but my heart goes for Fabio.
Michael?
And likewise, I think Marc's the favourite. Fabio should be in the mix, and a bit of a wild card maybe for Manal Daguerre, looking good for a front row start today.
Oh, spicy. Well, heart or head, that's the question, Gav. Who are you going for as we head into Q2?
Yeah.
Green light, we're underway, and there's so much to look forward to in this session. There's a lot of riders that you would go, oh, is he really going to be fast? A lot of riders that you'll go, maybe not. Some going, yeah. It's going to be a great one. But it's Johan Zarco, Maverick Vinales, Fabio Quartararo, Franco Morbidelli, Raul Fernandez, Pedro Acosta, Jack Miller, Fermin Daguerre, Francesco Bagnaia, back over of course, Marco Bezzecchi, Alex Marquez, and Marc Marquez. That's your Q2 running order. Megan, who's your pick to go through into the next sessions? I mean, who's your pick for pole position, I should say?
I'm still going to go with Quartararo.
Fastest in the practice session we just had. Fastest as well. He's looking quick. New engine, of course.
One day when he's doing that, he's just going to fall.
If Fabio Quartararo gets pole position, what number? I'm trying to see where he is on our timing screen. Here we go. If Quartararo gets pole position, it will be pole number 18 of his career in MotoGP, and he's 20th overall.
Oh.
That's how things stand right now. But I'm going Marc Marquez personally. It would pole position number 71 of MotoGP and 99 of his career combined across the 125cc and Moto2 category. Let's not forget, he's 32 years old, Marc Marquez. He's not a little puppy anymore. Julian says, I smell a Fabio pole. Zarco once again proving why he's the best Honda rider in the current HRC lineup. Raul like qualified eye. Yeah, that's the first time that's happened this year. And here we go again. Through the Dunlop chicane, down through La Chapelle, and down towards Museum. And again, it's all looking good here. Spoiler of the session, Zarco pole to tell. I don't think Zarco get pole. If Zarco could get pole, it's great for France, but I reckon, as you say, it's Quartararo or Marc.
Yeah.
Chance of Alex, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I feel like Alex isn't as great as getting poles.
1 pole position to his name in MotoGP, 12 in Moto2, 3 in Moto3. That's a total of 16 in total. Kent says go Fabio Quartararo as well.
That colouring book is still only 14.
It's getting before it goes up. Pole record here, 1 minute 29.919 set last year by Jorge Martin. So that's what you've got to do. These are the banker lap times we're seeing right now. Everyone out there Well, actually, there's a mix out there, isn't there, of different tyre compounds.
There is.
As you can see on your monitor above us here. Mark's looking stronger though, already. A little bit wide, coming at the exit of Rakudamon. Right, here we go then. Lap time's in. Alex top, Mark top. That was predictable.
Yeah.
1:30.065. Alex Marquez second, Miller third, Zarco fourth, Aldeguer fifth, Acosta goes sixth with a sixth stand.
Do you know what I want someone to say one day? Who's top of the session? Marquez. Which one? Yes.
Yes, both exactly the same times.
I want that to happen one day.
How's the weather in Britain? It's sunny and 16 degrees, but the commentary box is a little chilly.
Yeah. I'm having to put my hands underneath my legs because
Yeah.
they're cold. Do you want a heater?
No, because of the television.
Ah, yes, of course.
I might pop on a little jacket ahead of the
Gloves.
IndyCar tonight. Yeah. I'm not wearing shorts today, though. I'm wearing my skinny chinos. Look how slim I look now.
Yeah, very nice.
Quadraro 10th fastest. Aldeguer,
Why have we both chosen black and white today?
that's blue.
Look at your shirt.
Oh yeah, shirt-wise, yeah. Aldeguer's up. Alex Marquez is up by exactly the same amount of time.
What?
And now in the third sector, Mark's got 5 thousandths faster. But in the middle sector, they matched on differential times.
I was so close.
Mark's half a second up. This is unbelievable. Mark Marquez, a 129.442. He obliterates the best pole lap record here, and he sets a new all-time lap record.
Oh my goodness.
What a lap time!
Look, Quattararo's not beating that. Oh, and he immediately goes off.
Yeah, he's backed out. He's 6 tenths faster than Alex.
He's like, I'm good.
Yesterday in practice, he did a 129.855. He's 4 tenths faster than that today. Aldeguer's looking apparently from Sean says that's a great lap time. Yeah, he's up to third. Aldeguer front row alongside his teammate Alex Marquez. Well, and Quattararo's looking stronger. He's gone second. But he's still 3 tenths off of Mark Marquez's time. So, Mark, alien.
Yeah, basically.
I think Mark was the crossover phase from what the aliens were, the original 5 aliens, and then going into the sort of machine era, the Terminator era, like
Yeah.
Martin, like Magnier and him. Mark's
See.
sort of in the middle. Mark's both alien and Terminator. I think
That's a bad combination to have. It's too good.
I think personally we should introduce a new one in the middle. Because we've got the aliens, and then you've got the Terminators. I think Mark should be called the Predator.
Yes.
Yeah. Mark is a predator.
He is.
He sits behind them until the last minute and then pounces.
Yeah. And now he's taught Alex to do that.
Yeah.
But Alex isn't as good at that.
Top of my neck says to try and crack it. Mark is a total predator.
He is.
Like time and time again.
He'll just keep coming back.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I heard that. You really needed that.
There's a bit of pain.
I'm glad I taught you that trick now.
Yeah.
The back thing.
Pecco effed up, says Julian. Where is he? Back night on 11th place, yeah. 1 minute 30.683. Massively off the pace. Mark says it's such a special rider, says Tao. Quadraro improves time, not position.
He's getting close. He's given time. He's still got 8 minutes almost.
Yeah, that lap time was 10 thousandths of a second faster than the previous lap time he did.
Yeah. He's just warming up.
How much is that you need? There's Mark.
He's like, he's trying, but he won't beat me.
You can sort of see the Cheshire grin underneath his helmet there.
Yeah.
Alex Marquez is going, oh, for God's sake. I was leading the championship.
And now he comes along. He's like, I'm not going to get a championship until my brother leaves, Emma.
Well, they've already said if Alex is in the hunt for the championship, he'll be given everything. Here's Pecco.
Poor Aldeguer. Just be like, what about my bike? I'm sorry for if F1 can do it, so can we.
I love how Michael, back in our commentary on the Tito Sprint in Spain, said that it was quite harsh to say that Bagnaia and Martin sort of looked into the championships. I agree, but in many regards...
Circumstances, if Mark had been there at full capacity,
yeah, that's what I said.
they wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
I mean, are they getting it now? I mean, Martin,
Yeah,
we still don't know.
Bagnaia, on the other hand, looks like a shadow with some...
And it's his teammate as well, so we're on the same bike.
He looks shell-shocked. It's like, oh, right.
He's questioning himself. It's like, am I good? Am I good at riding?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird build-up, isn't it? Right, Sean says, if Bagnaia can't beat Alex, who was on a satellite team bike, and even Quattararo and the Yamaha on a track where he has won in the last 3 consecutive races, that really does tell something about him. Yeah, seasons, of course. Yeah, 3 consecutive seasons. Oh, back. Yeah, okay.
There's the train.
Yeah, Bagnaia's now got traffic. He's got Marco Bezzecchi, and then right behind him, he's got Franco Morbidelli. And is that Johan Zarco? I can't quite tell from the angle we've got.
I think it is.
Omi's just realised that the OBS I sent him is actually really easy for WEC now. It's all... I cleaned it up so much last night.
That reminds
He's just texted saying, okay, he wasn't lying, it is easy for once.
That reminds me, JT sent me something. I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, right. I keep saying that. There we go. Into last then. 5 minutes to go of qualifying for the French Grand Prix at Le Mans. And Bagnaia's now moved to the front of this queue, and out goes Marc Marquez.
I wonder if his style was
Julian says the record continues. Mark never loses against his teammate. Technically, he lost against his brother in 2020 because he didn't complete the season. But I know what you mean there.
That's different. They're brothers. They're bound to have such things. I won't be surprised if Alex purposely made sure he couldn't complete the season. It's like, oh, here you go, Mark. Why don't you step over that really rickety thing?
Yeah, damaged his shoulder by closing the balcony door.
Did Alex push him into it?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, why don't you go close the door? Oh, no.
Nice
Such a
to
shame.
see.
How's your shoulder doing?
Pinch punch first.
Oh, no. Mark's fallen.
In, out, shake it all.
It's like, oh, no, Dad. Mark's fallen and he can't get up. Did you push him, Alex? No. I can guarantee you I was in another country.
Gave him a drum set. Here we go then, as they come through.
Suddenly the exercise machine Mark was working on just flung him into the door to close it. I don't know how...
He's on a bicycle and all of a sudden his handle goes off.
Alex throws a wrench behind his back. I don't know. Suddenly Mark in the background. Ah!
Over the line for Pecco Bagnaia. He's only gone 6th fastest, but immediately beaten by Morbidelli and Zarco. Bagnaia's best time is 7th. This is shocking for the world champion.
Zarco exceeding track limits, lap time cancelled.
And Aldeguer's gone 2nd!
What?
Wow!
They put their faith in the wrong track house. I mean, not track house.
Oh!
Take it back. Maybe the right one. What's that smile about?
He's got 2nd fastest and immediately crashes.
It's like, this is all this bike can do, now it's giving up.
The lucky thing is he's crashed just alongside the pit lane, and this will yellow flag everybody's lap times. He might be able to get back out of the track if he can get a bike back into the pit lane quickly. Stunning work from the mechanics here.
You're walking the wrong way.
That's Zarco! Zarco's down at the museum corner!
Zarco obviously has a deal with Aldeguer.
Oh, it's turn 8, it's Garage Fier.
So everyone's lap time cancelled there as well.
Oh, well, yeah, that's probably why. So, under braking, mid-corner, front dips.
Very lucky there to not get hit in the leg with a bike.
The way it wrapped itself around him. Well, that's going to spoil everybody else's lap time.
And there's Alex with just about to go into the sector. And it goes off. Maybe this is Alex's time.
Yeah, but was it yellow through turn 1? That's the question you got to think about. Did Alex go through a yellow flag?
I don't think he did.
Sector? I don't think he did either. So this might be a pole time because he's only 88 thousandths off of Mark's time.
I think he only just got out of sector 1. That's why they're looking so nervous. It'd be so annoying if he was ruined by his teammate.
We are sliding.
93 cancelled. 37 cancelled.
Acosta, Quartararo,
20. Raul.
Maverick. Yeah, I see. Yeah, Raul. Yeah, they're all having their lap times deleted now.
Except from Alex.
Let's see what he can do then. Is this going to be a front row? Zarco, well, he has already crashed out. We know that.
Cancelled for shortcut. What shortcut? He got obliterated by a bike.
Into Rakunaman over the line. 57 thousandths of a second. The difference over the line. It's just over a tenth. Alex goes second. Okay.
It obliterated his chances. 43.
Oh, Miller. Okay, last lap time for everyone now then. Marquez up by 27 thousandths on his own best time. Oh, Miller's was for track limits, not for yellow flag. Kind of makes more sense now. Vinales over the line. 9th fastest at the moment, improves to 6th. Good time.
Bezecchi.
Yeah, good. Yeah, lap time counts for him too. Here's Mark. He's down by 57 thousandths of a second compared to what Alex did.
Can't even beat his own time.
Well, don't forget, Mark is still on pole position by over a tenth as well, so it's not over yet. It'll be his 99th career pole position if he can do so across all 3 classes. Look at Quartararo!
Oh!
Mark nearly dropped it coming through S Blues! And he might need to keep on the pace here because Quartararo's going to be faster. Here comes Marc Marquez over the line. It's not quick enough. And he's now going to push. Quartararo is pole!
And he takes the fastest lap time.
Checkered flag! Quartararo's got pole position and the fastest ever lap here at Le Mans. Yamaha are beside themselves. The French fans go absolutely wild! What on earth was that? Alex Marquez in 3rd position. Mark set the fastest first sector time than anybody. He could still be in it, but it's a 24.2 in that 2nd sector.
His second one's bad.
Yeah.
I think he's given up.
Well, 23.8 for Quartararo. Yeah, I think Mark might have.
I think he's accepted that it's Quartararo's.
Fabio Quartararo has taken pole. Michael Bezecchi goes into 7th position. But I think that's it. Nobody else is going to be improving out there. And Morbidelli's crashed, and that is going to spoil Mark's lap anyway. That's why he backed up.
Yeah, he must have seen it happen.
The French fans have gone absolutely just fantastic.
That also means that Mark does not get the 5 poles.
No, he doesn't, no. Let's have a look at Quartararo. This is pole position. 18 of his MotoGP career, his 21st overall. 129.324 on home soil. Quartararo will launch down to turn 1. Is that his 2nd pole in a row? He was on pole last time out, yeah. So 2 poles back to back for Quartararo, Spain and France.
Alana was right.
Well done. Let's just hope that Quartararo doesn't drop it like he did in the sprint race in Spain.
Well, he might do in the sprint race, but I'm not sure about the race.
New engine in the Yamaha.
Woohoo!
And it seems to be working.
It really is. They've got the pace back from a couple of years ago, and there's the debris from, I think, Morbidelli's crash.
Brilliant. Just sheer brilliance.
I'm gonna...
All right. Ta-da. Let's head down to TNT and get the latest after that stunning qualifying.
I'm surprised they've not discussed this in the rider safety meeting. It's going to be tricky for the riders.
Maybe they have, and maybe it's just,
It's come to naught,
So Marc Marquez smashed the record, but Fabio Quartararo went one better still. Incredible, incredible from the Frenchman at home. And it will be as he does a stopping down towards the hugely populated Garage Vert area. Chapeau for Fabio.
The rider made the difference. what can he do in the race?
How he can make life tough. His pace was good.
Really good.
Back-to-back poles since his championship winning year for the very first time. And it is so refreshing to see. We're not talking constantly about this Ducati or that Ducati. We've got a world champion with the talent that we have known has never gone anywhere. He's been loyal to Yamaha. They've been loyal to him. And it is paying itself back here. So pleased for him, so pleased for the French crowd. As if they weren't loud enough, they're going to have a Frenchman on pole for the race here this afternoon in the sprint, and then on Sunday for the main race.
What's it like in the wet, Fabio? I was just trying to remember.
Good and bad days, I think.
Yeah.
Remember the Yamaha started to be hard in the wet weather. But I wonder with the way it's performing now, because it's that bit nervous, I think that's where it comes from, so...
Say 29.3. I never saw that coming from a Yamaha rider. Super.
He's on the front row then ahead of the Marquez brothers. Firmino Aldeguer heads up row 2 with Vinales and Pecco Bagnaia in 6th place on the grid. So out-qualified by Aldeguer.
Has he been pole here before, Fabio? Do you know? I'm just trying to think if we've been here whilst we've had a French rider on pole. We had it with Zarco, I think.
We have had it with a French rider on pole here before, definitely. Didn't Fabio have it early on?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 2020, 2021.
Hey, that last split, I'd like to see the whole lap again. There's some roll speed, some corner speed.
Brilliant scenes here. Marquez brothers are on the front row. They were on some pace anyway, but the star of the show, it is Fabio Quartararo, who takes pole position for his home race, the Grand Prix of France here in Le Mans. That was some qualifying session, Rachel.
Yeah, it was indeed, and I think you guys were quite excited, weren't you, as well, as we watched Fabio Quartararo cross the line. I'm not biased at all here on TNT Sports, it seems, but it's fine, because we've got Sylvain here, and he's French, so we can cheer, can't we, Fabio, today? And I mean, 2 out of 2 for him. That was incredible.
100%. What an effort. What a beautiful lap. But this was like perfection. And for Fabio, you could see, you know, the energy he released when he finished his lap, you know, the joy, this is when you know you've done it, you've done everything perfect, and you made it stick. So this was an absolutely beautiful lap again for Fabio. Against the odds, I would say. You know, we said it before, Marc was massively the favourite for that session. So a great lap by Fabio, you know, supported by the French crowd.
You could feel the energy, you could hear the crowd as well, but no one really thought it was possible. At 1:29.4 set by Marc Marquez early on, everyone said that's it, he can kind of play it safe. He never does, of course, but that was some lap to beat as well. And how good was he?
Marc, astonishing to go straight out in his first exit and just absolutely knock the existing lap record out of the park by 4/10. I thought he would have something left at the end there, but yeah, today it was Fabio Quartararo's. Marc just looked so in control this weekend. It should have been his pole position, but somehow Fabio extracted a little more from the Yamaha. But yeah, Marc was inch perfect all the way around the lap. And yeah, he looks the strongest in terms of race rhythm. But let's see if Fabio can take the fight to Marc. 29.4 straight out. And I think if it hadn't been for that little moment in the final sector on his first flyer, perhaps he would have had something to challenge Fabio for the pole. He went again and had to give it up. So yeah, you can see these riders are on the absolute limit. That was all there was out there today, but they're smashing lap records every venue this year.
Yeah, and it's something special, isn't it, about being at home? Fabio knew he wanted to put on a show, and we just mentioned it. What a show he's put on so far. I know it's only the beginning of the weekend. We've got 2 races still to contest, but he's put himself in the absolute perfect position, hasn't he?
100%. Well, just like in Jerez, and we know how aggressive he can be as well at the start. You know, in Jerez, he was super aggressive, managed to overtake Marc for the sprint at the start. Just look at that. Just look at the attitude now. You know, And in the team as well, they know how good that was. They know how perfect that lap would have been. They know, what it requires. And it's very hard to describe as a rider when you manage to put a lap like this. Look at this, the energy on the bike, It's all the tension releasing and the joy coming out when you know you've done all of it perfectly. He's screaming like he's won the race.
Yeah, it was a different strategy as well. He went out and put 3 laps in, on his third, that was the best, so then he put a new tyre in and lay it all on the line. First lap, get the maximum out of the tyre. It's a quite a different strategy. We don't often see it, but it paid off today.
Yeah, obviously we saw what happened in Jerez, though, in the sprint for Fabio. He was super aggressive, like you said. It went well, didn't it, until halfway round that first lap. Then he crashed out and so had to start again in the GP race. Obviously got himself on the podium. Will he have learned anything for this, and how different will that start be as he approaches it in the sprint?
100%, yes. That would have given some info, some idea of what to expect and how he can attack, how he could make that difference at the start. So yes, and in Le Mans it's even more tricky because you got that first turn one. They're going to get in there with the radar devices engaged, from the start. It's going to be messy, and if you can gain a little advantage there with confidence, dive up the inside in turn 3, the first left turn for quite a while. The temperature in the tires is not quite there. He knows Mark can be a little bit vulnerable as well there, so for Fabio, it's a real chance to be leading the race.
And that ride height device, is it so crucial for Fabio on the Yamaha in particular?
Yeah, and not being able to use it out of the last turn does hurt, but obviously not hurting him too much today. It's a short run to the flag. I don't think anyone's going to use the rear lowering device on the run to turn 1, because going through the fast turn 1-2 section with the bike as a Harley Davidson, not so easy to ride when it's a chopper. But yeah, I think the majority of the grid won't jump off the line with it today.
Well, it was the Rossini Ducati of Fermin Aldeguer who was actually there or thereabouts for most of that session, but it actually, in the end, was Alex Marquez, who kind of came from nowhere. He's been a little bit more quiet than he was in Jerez so far this weekend, but managed to get himself on the front row in the final stages of that session with a pretty solid lap out there. Again, very fast from him.
Very impressive. The bike looked on rails, he looked like he had tons of rear grip, looking really, really smooth and making the most of that soft tire. So yeah, Alex Marquez, we weren't expecting him in the qualifying, and he put that lap together. That was really neat, really clean, no mistakes at all. It just shows again his real class this year, and that we can count on him on every track and everywhere. So yeah, very efficient again from Alex, and in a good position for the race.
Yeah, 1:29.5 in the end for Alex Marquez. Once again on the front row, and he's down there in Parc Fermé speaking to Nat.
Alex, great work again to get on the front row of the grid here at Le Mans. Just talk us through that lap.
Yeah, happy. I mean, happy. From yesterday with the step, yesterday we were missing a little bit the balance of the bike. I mean, we didn't make any different setup. All this morning we tried 2 different setups just to see the way that we need to going. The rhythm was good, and I'm happy with that, and I feel ready for the sprint race. So and after, I mean, the quality here is so important. You need to be always there, always trying to not make mistakes, and we do it quite a good lap, so we're in front row, and I'm so happy for that.
Fabio and Mark obviously looking strong. Maverick has looked strong this weekend as well. Who else could be a threat this weekend?
We'll be tight. I mean, we saw it on this morning practice that Mark is in another level still, especially when the tire drop. Then Fabio, me, Pecco, Maverick, Fermin, we are there tight. So it was for me super important to be in front row. It will be super important to make a good start, and the first lap will be the key.
Well done, Alex.
Thank you.
Well, Alex listed quite a lot of riders there who he thinks will be in contention. Of course, the whole grid will, I'm sure, in the sprint race especially. Historically, Alex said he doesn't really like this circuit. He struggles a little bit, but he's a different rider, isn't he, this season from yesteryear?
Yeah, more confidence, but he's right in saying that it's a different feeling around here. This track is very low abrasion. We've got some difficulties for the rider to put heat into the left side of the tire. So you have to manage that. The problem is if you manage it too much, you're not pushing enough to get that temperature, to generate that temperature and that pressure in the front tire. So it's sort of like a balance of things. And like he said, the first lap is going to be really important. Could see some big differences, in how the riders are going to get up to speed.
Well, hopefully the temperature will actually be on their side this afternoon, because it is building here. Tomorrow could be a completely different story, as rain is predicted, and it's creeping up to about 85% now. Glorious here in Le Mans. Okay, let's go from one of the fastest siblings to the other, who hoped he may be on pole, but it wasn't to be. Marc Marquez is in second and speaking to Nat.
Mark, you set an incredible lap time early on in the session. which we didn't think anyone would beat, but then Fabio just had that edge again. But incredible from both of you today.
Yeah, I mean, 6/10 faster than the previous record, so it's amazing. I mean, we're riding in a super high level. Fabio did a step in Jerez already, and he reconfirmed here, so he deserved the pole, because I cannot say that my lap, I say to Rigamonti, my lap was clean, was nice, was a good one, but he did a better lap. So yeah, part of that, happy with the pace, happy with the front row, and yeah, let's see. But he will be super motivated. So we need to understand where is the level on the race.
Yeah, what are you expecting from the sprint with him later on today?
The sprint will be tough. Because the first 5-6 laps, everybody have a lot of grip, you can use a lot the rear tire, and yeah, it will be a very fast pace. But we will try to, first of all, start in a good way, and then try to understand where we can be on but the podium will be the main target.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Well, bittersweet again for Marc Marquez, and it seems a very similar story to Jerez 2 weeks ago. Marc thought he had it, and Fabio just pipped him in the final stages of qualifying. Marc, this time out, has he got a bit more to beat Fabio, I guess, one-on-one, hoping Fabio doesn't crash?
Yeah, it's a different story around here, and I think Marc is going to be obviously, trying not to make the same mistake that he did in the race in Jerez. He's going to try and learn from that. So you could imagine him having a little bit of being not on the back foot, but a little bit reserved to start with, and then build his pace as the race carry on. We're going to see that, because Fabio's definitely going to be super aggressive. I just hope we don't see anything dodgy with the start devices, because I think it's going to be hard for them, if they all engage it for the start, which they normally will, just for the start, it's going to be hard to disengage them. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Marc being reserved in that race, do you agree or disagree with
He's got to a little bit.
Yeah, but targeting the podium, I think he's got loftier ambitions than that. He always targets the victory, but he's just keeping his expectations modest to the press. I think he's got race rhythm. As he mentioned, those early laps, when the soft tyres are in, that's where he was struggling in the early rounds with the vibration. Hasn't mentioned the vibration this week, and he does look better. So I think it will be a proper scrap, and Fabio's going to put it all on the line at home.
What should we hear from Fabio now then? A pole sitter here on home soil in France. It's Fabio Quartararo, and he's speaking to Nat.
Fabio, huge congratulations. There was this huge roar from the crowd. Marc set that marker, and then we've never seen anyone go quicker around Le Mans. To do it at home must feel extra special.
Yeah, especially when I saw Marc make 29.4, I said, okay, I think today will be second place. But we managed to get in the first run 29.7. I said, we know that we can always improve in the second run. And I really, really felt on the limit, and it was an amazing lap, and I'm super happy.
Talking to you yesterday, it sounds like expectations have shifted a little bit. So what are you thinking for the sprint later?
Of course, starting from P1, the goal is to finish on the podium. I know that Marc have more pace than us, is clear. But, at the moment we have to look at ourselves, and the realistic position will be, being honest, P2, P3, P4, P5.
Thank you, Fabio.
Thank you very much.
I love that. P2, P3.
Fabio Quartararo has pole position here at the French Grand Prix. It is going to be an absolutely great Tissot sprint and Grand Prix, especially with rain predicted tomorrow, as Rachel said, picking up to 85%. That's not all here on JB Motorsports 2. We have the Tissot Sprint and the Grand Prix live here on the second channel. Also, coming up, if you fancy a little quick blast around for 8 laps of racing, join us at 11:10 in around about 18 minutes time, and you can join us for the opening round of the MotoE World Championship. We shall see you shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.